welcome back, everyone. This week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers. You can scratch out the garden center now. It is now deer processing, but please wait till the deer season opens before you start taking deer over there. They are located at 4550 Eatons Creek Road. I promise you, your deer has never tasted so good. All right. Hey, John, since we got you on the show.
I've seen that picture before.
I saw this. Now that is, what kind of trout?
That's a rainbow
I
trout.
figured it was a big rainbow.
That's a rainbow.
Where'd you catch him?
So that's when Rick Stewart and I have been at the Caney the last couple weekends. And that has been, we've caught a lot of those right there. I think we've over 40 each time out. So
oh my
they're
goodness.
there. You just need to get out there.
You just gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. And we got another one here.
That was
nice.
That was nice. Rick caught that, and you see the color, that bright pink in that one versus the other one. So Rick did a nice job getting him, and they're just.
What were you catching them on?
Trout magnet.
Trout magnet.
Float.
Leland Lures.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love those guys and what they bring out in their lures. We got another one here.
That is.
Is that the one that tried to take the rod out of
That
you?
is the hybrid on Priest, and that's the one who woke me up.
But now that is about. There are millions of them that size.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now he was down. He was down Elm Hill, down that way.
Yeah.
So they're down there.
They like that little clearer, a little deeper, cooler water.
Yeah.
But
You'll eventually find them.
They are there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Any more? Do we have? Yep. Look here.
That's Priest. That is trolling at its finest.
That was a crappie day, wasn't it?
That was crappie day. And I caught 4 bass, I think, that day too, a couple catfish. But I think I caught 30 plus. But those are 11 good keepers I took home for the freezer.
Well, now you can send your pictures to us here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robinson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219, or simply email them to me at hugh@southernwoodsandwaters.com. We'll get them on here as quickly as possible. But we appreciate all those coming in. Just keep them coming. I do want to tease our Facebook page. Yes, thank you, Courtney. Our Facebook. Check us out, Southern Woods and Waters, on our Facebook page. Like it, share it, view it. Comment on it. We'd love to hear from our viewers. Just check it out at Southern Woods and Waters Facebook page. All right. Getting back to some of this fishing, and what's great about John is that if the bass aren't biting, you can switch to crappie. It doesn't matter to you.
I don't discriminate.
No, you're a meat hunter. But you do it for fun. Now Rick loves to go to the Caney. He loves trout fishing.
He loves to trout fish.
And he's got a unique style and what he does. He puts a little bobber in front of on top of his.
This is a little float here and a split shot. And Rick took me to the Caney. It's been years ago, but that's just in fishing in general. I always like to take someone, see what they do. There's a lot of very good fishermen, as you know, out here.
Oh yeah.
And just pick their brain. I mean, that's how I continue to learn today. I just, after these tournaments now that I'll do, I'll ask, where were you at? Where did you,
what depth?
And the whole thing. And that's what I think Rick and I do. We just, I think, pick each other's brain. It was so funny. We were fishing probably 20 yards apart for most time, and we were kind of fiddling around, and we both looked down. We had our little tackle box, and we looked up at each other, and we at the same time we said, "I'm changing colors." Just I said, Rick, man, we are smart, So it's fun, and he's like, I'm trying this, and we'll use some small crankbaits out there too, and then I'll throw a trout magnet, different colors, and he found a color out there. And I had eventually switched to that because that was that color that day. And I said, Rick, hey, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm putting that color on. We worked and worked and worked, and he tried to find this trout, and we're going up and down, 50 yards here, 50, just back and forth,
right.
and just trying different things. And finally, he found the color that day. And some days, they'll bite on a little bit. Those spoons I was showing you, a little flash.
Yes.
So you just got to work with them just like anything, and a lot of times you can see them. Now in the Caney, Rick and I have talked about this, is you go dress in some browns and greens, and because they can
Camouflage.
see, they can see that. Don't go in your neon,
Don't go in white,
neon
blues,
UT hat,
yeah,
and all
UT,
that.
yeah,
So we go, and because you can see them flashing, and they're all over. And if you got that bright clothing, it's I
It's
think
over.
it's gonna you're toast. So it's a simple thing. That
It
and the
is.
line hue. I mean, fluorocarbon, same thing. I mean, you got light line 2. There's some 3-pound tests, but 2 or 4-pound tests out there. Something they're not going to see. Light line. We just use spinning tackle.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you use like a 5-foot rod or a 6-foot rod?
I use a 6.6 medium out
Really?
there. Yeah. And I think, Rick probably uses about the same. I think he's got a big long river one he'll use,
Yeah.
like a 10-foot or
Soft tip.
Yeah, but he's taken that a few times. But so the good thing is you don't have to buy all this, fly fishing gear. People come from out of state all the time to fish the Caney.
Right.
We're 40 minutes from it, and you can just your bluegill fishing stuff and the way you fish for bluegill with these, trout
It
magnets.
works.
Take it to the Caney.
It works.
It works.
Whatever
And
you fish
kids,
from crappie wise, they'll do the same thing. If you're
And
using
if you-
jigs.
Absolutely. Well, if you get kids hooked on this Caney fork, it's over.
Now that's another thing. I mean, here it is, the summer, the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
That water's about 51 to 52 degrees.
And it feels good.
It feels good. And unless you stay in there for 5 hours, then your teeth start chattering.
Yeah. Now, after a couple hours, you may have to walk out, and your legs are a little bit numb.
They are numb, and it's amazing but a lot of people like it. You see a gambit of folks fishing the Caney.
Oh yeah.
There's the Orvis guides. I know
yeah.
several Orvis
Yeah.
guides that go there and they
Yeah.
carry their clients, and
Yeah.
they're dressed to the hilt. They
Yeah.
got the chest waders
yeah.
on and the everything. We just out there in t-shirt. And,
In the summer, you can do that. Now, Rick and I have gone in the fall. You better have your
better
waders,
have some waders on.
because it ain't happening.
You're cold.
Remember the old ice bucket challenge? It was kind of like that.
That's
back
right.
in the,
You
they
turn
did that a
blue.
few years ago. It's you're gonna stay out of the water.
But the
folks.
fish are always eager to bite.
Yeah. And we were throwing right in the current. See, that's the other thing is a generation. Rick or I usually look at TVA website, click on Center Hill for lake levels, and then we'll go, because the generation, if that water's high, I mean, you can't wade.
Yeah.
So we wait. Usually, if it's generating, 3, 4, 5, there's one generator, and then it shuts off. I mean, you can leave Nashville at 6:37 and get there, and that water will be about where you need to be.
Right.
So that's kind of a good little key. And if they got generators going, I mean, you might have to get yourself a kayak or something and float
A lot
it.
of kayakers
There's
on
a lot of
Caney Fork
kayakers.
River.
Yeah. There were some nice ones too out there, and the reason I say that is because we were fishing. Instead of going in front of us, they'd sneak 3 feet behind us. And we don't want to mess up your fishing, and
Isn't that
so
something?
yeah. I said, well, you don't have to do that. I said, it's nice of you, but so there are some very courtesy ones out there, but there's. I think they have a lot of rental, the canoe place up there and all that. So they'll come in 20 at a time.
Fork Outfitters, they'll rent them to you.
Same
They'll
one.
let you rent them and
Yeah.
go out there and have a good day.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of out-of-state people that come through there.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
And when we go there, I'll you'll look, and they the license plates, a lot of them from out of state.
What other fish other than the rainbow does the Caney Fork offer?
Has the brown. There's some big browns in there.
Big browns too.
Now, Rick and I have not, we usually do the morning. Now, we haven't caught, and there's some big ones in there, but I've heard below, the Center Hill Dam, the Caney there, at night, the big browns, look around. And there are some brook trout, and I don't know what the latest is on brook trout. They put some in a few years ago. I just don't know how, they did. The TWA, your friends over there.
They're sticking in there pretty good.
Yeah.
They're staying in there.
So the limit, a rainbow is 5.
That's right.
But there's a slot limit. So that 14 to 20,
Yep.
they got to go back.
They got to go back.
So then 1 over 20, you can put in, the cooler,
And
anything
all the
under.
others are under.
So you got to be
14.
careful. It's because Because some people think that 14 to 20, those are the ones that you can keep. That's not
No,
it.
that's the ones you got to release.
It's opposite.
It's the opposite.
So make
way.
sure that you read that right.
Yeah, really.
And a brown, I believe, I think it's only one over 24, maybe.
Only one.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That's a big brown.
That's
That's in your 9, 11, and 12 pound class, or 8 to 9
you got
pound class.
that 2 pound, 4 pound test. That reel's going to be on fire.
Now, when you go there, what do you want the generation to be? I mean, when is it good for you to go?
Well, a little bit like I was mentioning. So, a couple hours after generation has stopped.
Stop.
Yep. That's kind of our key, because we went last weekend. Generation stopped at 5, and I think Rick picked me up at 7, and we got there, and it was a beautiful thing. I mean, it was just something that you'd write up.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's kind of our key, and they haven't had 2 pumping recently that I've seen when we've gone fishing. So you can take a little bit longer. But
Well, now all these rains may change that, brother.
It's going to change the world.
It's going to change everything.
I don't know what they're going to do.
5 inches. Leland Stedham said 5.5 inches. So that's a
Chocolate
lot
milk
of water.
too.
That's a lot of
Nicaney's
water.
not used to chocolate milk.
That's right.
It's clear as a bell.
So everybody knows about the Caney, and I got to reiterate one thing. This is a great way to get kids involved,
Absolutely.
because not only are they the bluegill. I mean, we can take them anywhere and catch blue, but if they go wade that river and feel that water, and then catching a rainbow or a brown in there, oh my goodness!
Well, when Rick and I went last time, there was a couple dads, and they had 3 or 4 kids with them, and they were over there and they're catching them, and you can catch them from 7 inches, on up. But let me tell you, 7, 8 inch in that current.
They're fighters.
They're from the late line. Oh yeah, and them kids love it. I mean, they flat love
monster.
it. Yeah, they just. But the other thing is, of course, I have 3 girls, and the colors like we just saw.
Yeah.
That rainbow there. That pink.
That's
pretty. That's a pretty
There's
fish.
a pink fish. All right, I'll tell you what, we got to go do our product of the week, so let's go do it right now. This week's product of the week is being brought to you by Highland Rim Tractor. They are your Mahindra tractor dealer, located right there in Millersville on the main drag. Go by and see Miss Story or John Story and tell them that Southern Woods and Water sent you. They will help you get those. Hey, it's food plot time too, by the way. You better get them on out there. Let me show you what our product is this week. Our boy, Jeff Hill, has come out again. These are more shad-like swim baits. This is the 8-inch version, and I wanted to show you the 6-inch version right here. A lot more looking like a shad.
Very much so.
Very much so. This one especially with the blue. This one has the hint of blue in it also. But just for your thread fin shad, both these baits will work just really, really well for you on those ledges. This will catch striper, hybrid, bass, smallmouth, spot. It doesn't matter. Probably catch catfish every now and then too. I promise. But check him out, MadDadLures.com, MadDadLures.com, and we're gonna go take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna open up our phone lines here at 737-7767. We'll be right back with more of Southern Woods and Waters.